Today we're going to talk about 3 mistakes that people make when trademarking their brands. So if you know anybody trying to trademark or get their brand protection on point, please feel free to share this video. And while you're here, hit that like button and that subscribe button and make sure that you stay tuned because we drop videos just like this every single week, giving you the information that you need to know to be successful in your business. The first mistake that people make when trademarking their brand is not conducting a comprehensive search report. Now, what is that? A comprehensive search report is a report that's done so that you understand all of the different uses of your trademark or things similar to your trademark. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is thinking that just the name of their product or just their logo or exactly what they're looking to trademark is the only thing that factors in. They think that if they check on the trademark website or if they check social media and they do not see anyone using that exact name, then they think that name is available to be trademarked. That is not the case. A trademark is what we call a source identifier, and it's something that has to be specific and unique according to the USPTO, the US Patent and Trademark Office. This means even if you run a search on your own or you check the trademark website and you don't see someone using your exact same name, that does not automatically mean that your name is available to be trademarked. When the trademark office and the attorneys there are checking for availability, they check everything from plural, singular, they check do things look the same, do things sound the same, are things phonetically similar. For example, if you have a brand that starts with the C, they'll check the registry to see if there are other things that start with a K that sound the same, or even a Q or anything like that. Another example is if you have a brand that's spelled properly, they'll check to see if somebody else has a name registered that might just have the vowels, which is a thing that people do in a way that people stylize their brands. All these different things go into consideration and go into effect when you're checking to see if that name is available. So just because you don't see your name taken doesn't mean that it's not taken. So I gave all these different examples and kind of went on to show you the full extent of what goes into making sure that a name is available for trademarking. This is why a comprehensive search report is non-negotiable. You must know the full extent of what's out there. Otherwise, you're likely to submit a trademark application only to wait months and months and months just to hear that that name that you thought was available isn't. One of the things that we tell our clients is that trademarking takes a long time now. On average, trademarking takes between 12 and 18 months. So what you don't want to do is submit an application only to hear back a year later that somebody else has your name when you could have figured that out from the beginning. Time is valuable, so you don't want to waste it. And that's why we see the #1 mistake that people make when trademarking is not doing a comprehensive search report. Now, the second mistake we see people make when trying to trademark their brand is wrongly assuming that just because they're using the name that they have legal rights and ownership to that name. What do I mean? Today's day and age, there's social media, there's LLCs, there's DBAs, there's viral posts, there's TikToks, there's all sorts of things, there's websites, all these different things that you use to show that you're using a brand. And for all intents and purposes, you're the only person that you know is using that brand, but that doesn't mean that you have legal ownership. Let me say this once again so it's very, very clear. A trademark is the only way that you have legal and enforceable rights to your brand. Without a trademark, you really don't own it. So even if you have all the social media, website, LLC, DBA, all that other stuff, if you don't have a trademark that's registered, somebody else can come in that you didn't know about and register your name and trademark it, and you will not have the rights to it. Or you'll have to go through a long and drawn out legal fight to get the rights to something that you should have had from the beginning. Trademarking is so crucial because it's literally the only way to have enforceable legal rights for your brand. It's the only way to stop copycats. It's the only way that you can hit people with the cease and desist letter to make sure that they're not using their brand. And it's the only way that you can have that peace of mind and that confidence that this brand, this business that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into is actually going to be owned by you. Now, the third mistake we see people make when trademarking their brand is using an improper specimen. What am I talking about? Now, this happens when you're already in the process of applying for the trademark. A specimen is the actual proof that you're using your brand the way that you claim you are. So for example, if you're starting a clothing line called XYZ Clothing, and you say that that's the name of your clothing line and that's what you want to trademark, there's a specific requirement that you give the USPTO proof that you're actually using that brand for your clothing line. And there's a specific way that you have to give it to them. A lot of people are uninformed about the specimen requirements for their trademark application. And because they're uninformed, they end up submitting the wrong thing. So what happens when you do that? You waste time the trademark office ultimately rejects that part of your application and has you redo it, and then it just delays your getting your trademark. It'll often cost you more money, it'll cost you more headache, and it's just unenjoyable. It's a waste of time. The purpose of you building that brand and you creating that trademark is so that you can have confidence that no one else can take it, confidence that you own it, and the confidence that if someone else tries to copycat off of you, you can stop them. But when you do your application improperly, you're not giving the correct specimen, you don't understand what that is, it only delays the process, and it can ultimately even lead to you getting your trademark application rejected. So you don't want this to happen, which is why it's very, very important that you understand what a specimen is, you understand how to properly submit your application, and you work with someone that has experience in doing this, because you don't want to play around with your brand. It's what you built your business on, it's what's going to help you succeed and grow your company. So you got to make sure that it's locked down and it's rock solid. So boom, those are 3 examples of mistakes that we see all the time when people are trying to trademark their brands and protect their intellectual property. If you don't want this to happen to you, or if you're just looking for a little bit more information, we would love to help you out with that. We do this all the time for business owners. So feel free to hit the link in the description and sign up for a free discovery call where we can learn more about your business and create a game plan for success. So until next time, y'all, keep on grinding, keep on hustling. I believe in y'all. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.